Hey there, what's up, everybody? It's Dr. Shazetta. I pray you guys are doing well. Happy Monday to you. I hope that your Monday is going fairly well. You probably hear the little frog in my throat, not feeling particularly well today. So, took a sick day off from the primary job and just going to sit and rest and maybe do a little bit of computer work throughout the day. But one of the things that I wanted to just come on and share and encourage with you today, I don't know if I did a weekly check in last week, but I'm beginning the week with a check in this week. So, one of the things that I've set before myself this week is to really take a moment and look back over our 2025 finances. And again, we typically focus this time of year on ending the year well and beginning the next year well. 2025 was a really challenging year for us for so many reasons. And as a result, I don't think we were as strategic or disciplined with our finances as we could have been and should have been. Water under the bridge. We didn't do a lot of frivolous spending this year. In fact, I think that was to a minimum, but we had a lot of large expenses that came up for us that we had to tend to. And some of them ended up being charged on credit cards. Again, overall, no regrets. But looking at the situation now, it's like, yeah, we gotta pivot and pivot pretty quickly. We also saved more, right? And had really an opportunity to learn about earning interest, right? Significant interest. We had a high yield savings account. And so watching ourselves be paid, right, in that savings account. But the other part of that was that having the credit card balances, what I wasn't paying as much attention to is that while my high yield savings was earning at a really good rate, I was still paying more in credit card interest than I was earning in the savings account. And I didn't think about that in comparison side by side until the other night when I was lying awake. And I know clearly it was a download from Holy Spirit saying, you did really well with the savings and discipline. And also, you're paying more in interest than you're earning in that high yield account. And so making some adjustments for that. But the other thing that I sat down and did today, which is my encouragement for you, as I sat and looked at the places where we are leaking, kind of in these micro forms, like we have these micro leaks. And so I sat today and looked at my Apple App Store, and I went in and looked at my subscriptions. It was like some of the stuff I'm subscribed to I don't even use, and they are things that may have subscribed to try and never went back and hit the cancellation, or they are things that I used at one point and I don't really use anymore. So for the Polar photo app, when I was posting photography every single day, and more consistently, I used the Polar app for a quick edit, put the white frame around, and it was great, and I posted it. But I don't use that anymore, so I was able to cancel the subscription. My Lightroom mobile for iPad, I now do most of my Lightroom editing on my desktop computer or my laptop computer, not as much on my iPad anymore. And so that $50 a year subscription doesn't need to renew in January. The one subscription that I did keep though was my YouTube Premium, right? I'm not a YouTube TV fan, and we share that with another family member who allows us to use their space. But YouTube Premium is something that's really important to me because I consume a lot of YouTube content. I also create a lot of YouTube content. So it is kind of my guilty pleasure indulgence to not have to navigate through ads. And also because I fly and travel a lot, to be able to download my videos and watch them without Wi-Fi if I'm in a space where I want to do that. And so I kept that $18.99 a month. If I get to the point where it's like, that's wasteful, I'll let that go. Another place that I'm looking at is the places where we are paying to store information or paying to store. So I paid $9.99 a month for my Apple iCloud larger, right? I think it's either 2 TB or 4 TB. That I'm going to keep because I have all Apple devices. And so being able to store all of my content and all of my work across my devices is important to me. What doesn't make sense for me to be paying for anymore is the $2.99 or $4.99 or $5.99 a month that I pay to each of my Google email accounts, right? To store information that I need to archive, but that I don't need access to anymore in that way. Hill House Media Company, for instance, we sunsetted that business by and large, but we're still paying monthly to hold stuff in the Google Drive. And so setting a goal for myself by the end of the year, I want to get all of that stuff off and out and either onto the physical drives that we have or figure out a cloud-based system where we can back up all of that stuff to one place, pay one fee, either one-time investment or some sort of monthly something to figure it out. So that's a place where we are leaking money, probably 20 or 30 bucks every month easily, if not more than that, between myself and my husband. And it's really the storage is being used and that it's holding things that we need to archive, but it's not something that we actively use. It's a leak that we can plug. And so I want to encourage you today not to get overwhelmed when you look at your finances, or even when you look at larger projects that you have, or larger problems or issues that you have, or challenges that you have in front of you, but look at the places that you can make small changes to plug some of the small leaks. This is really important right now when we are in a place where there is so much uncertainty around finances and self-sustainability and all of those things, with the shutdown and with the economy as it is, and with the government and politics as it is. And so let's make small changes. Small, consistent changes lead to big results. I want to remind you that I think I said that to you all a couple months ago. Small, consistent changes lead to big results. And so I said to someone yesterday that I've gone into a place, again, of kind of decluttering and minimalism and bringing my house space, my home space, into absolute order, because I don't have the capacity to navigate chaos that I can control. There are so many things around us in the world that we cannot control, that we must navigate through. But if we create order, bring our spaces to order, the places where we live, the places where we work, and to the extent that we can, the places where we do ministry, the places where we just find ourselves spending time in space, if we can bring a measure of order to those spaces, then we have some energy to navigate the spaces that are created for us. And so I want to encourage you today, identify 2 or 3 small steps that you can take this week to bring some order to your own life, whether it's financial, whether it's physical, right? Whether it is within your household, whether it's around your meals and meal prepping. I saw someone mention meal prepping today in one of their posts. Find a way to bring order to your space and to your home, so that you can preserve your energy for navigating the spaces that you have no control over, navigating the spaces that are created for you. Listen, I hope this is helpful. I'm going to take the majority of my day and just kind of rest and chill today, and maybe get caught up on some things that I'm behind on. But it is an overall just rest and chill, drink a coffee, be warm day. And I'm looking forward to it. I hope that this has been a blessing for you, as much as it's been a blessing for me as I'm sitting here going through it. And I look forward to chatting with you all later on this week. If you are taking small steps towards something, or bringing something to order this week, drop it down in the comments. I'd love to hear about it. Let's just be in community together. I love y'all, and I'll talk to you soon. Take good care.